Good evening. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. It's not Wednesday. What is the picker doing on a Tuesday? Well, I'm doing the Wednesday show tonight, and then tomorrow night, we got a big show. I'm going to explain to you here just in a little bit what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night. Tonight, we're going to talk about the famous Charisma label. The British record label founded in 1969, founded by Tony Stratton Smith, who managed rock groups like Genesis, The Nice, Van der Graaf Generator, and others. It went defunct in 1986. The show for tomorrow night will have a show and tell. I'm going to be showing you something and then telling you all about it. As we discussed that only 11% of all music lovers listen to physical media. That's right, only 11% of you out there listen to physical media. That means that 86%, just about 86% of you stream. That's true. And how we can maximize our catalog of music in 2025 with the decline in vinyl and the cost of vinyl that keeps going up and up and up. And is streaming pretty much the same as listening to a CD? Very much difference, is there? We're going to talk about it tomorrow night. But first of all, I'm going to show you my famous Charisma label records. Yeah, my records. Now, there's going to be a lot of Genesis in here, because whenever you think of the famous Charisma label, first thing that comes to mind is the Mad Hatter, and I think of Genesis. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. But I got a 45 here. I'll show you some 45s first, and then I'll show you some records. Here's Many Too Many from Genesis. It has the Charisma label. Now on these, they do the silver. Some of them. We got Peter Gabriel, Shocking the Monkey. This one has the silver on it as well, I believe. Oh, it's green. A lot of them were different. You'll see where the newer Charisma from the 80s, they look different than the older ones from the 70s. Here's a 45 of Tony Banks, keyboardist for Genesis. And this one here, what's this one look like? Oh, that's going to be the silver again. And I got a couple more. And here's Fish from Marillion and Tony Banks. They got together and did an album with different songs. And this was a 45 from that album back in the day when Fish was with Marillion. And this is what the Charisma label looked like later on in the 80s, late 70s and into the 80s until it disbanded in 86. So if anybody's never seen this one before, yeah, Fish from Marillion. And this is a 45 that I found. And it even has on here for Joff. And then it says, Love Always Arlene or somebody. I found this in a thrift store for $1, I think I paid. But there you go. There's your typical Mad Hatter. Now that's the small Mad Hatter. I believe when you see it's the large Mad Hatter, it would be the original, be an OG. And then when the small head would be a reissue, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know who Gary Shearston is. If anybody out there know who he is, please let me know in the comment section below. But I thought that was pretty cool to show you. And I'm going to run through some records here. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Here's Tony Banks. It's a great album, A Curious Feeling. Now with the Charisma label from later on in the 70s. Peter Gabriel. Now this is where he had his third album, but it was sung in German. And that's got the large Charisma head. See, it's got the large Mad Hatter. So this was an OG. I'm learning a little bit of something here. Here's Biko. It's in a 45 extended play with the later Charisma. Here is the Peter Gabriel's fourth album with the large head. and sung in German. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Refugee. This is an album that these two members here were in the Nice, and then when Keith Emerson left the Nice, they were joined by this man over here, Patrick Moraz. Patrick Moraz, of course, played with Yes on Relayer, and he played with the Moody Blues until he got the boot, and they decided they would rather divide their money up 4 ways than 5 ways. But Tony Stratton Smith produced the Nice, and that's probably why they ended up on the famous Charisma label. Being an OG, it's got the large head. Patrick Moraz, again, this is his 3rd album. This is the album he did after The Story of I. And there's another one. I think this is his 3rd album. Could have been his 2nd, but I think it's his 3rd. And this album is just called Patrick Moraz. Here's the album by The Nice with Keith Emerson. Here's an album that I found at the last record show I went to, Attention. This is a Fontana release. And this one here is just says Attention, The Nice. And it's manufacturing the Tokyo release. It's Japanese pressing. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice because it's the Nice. Here's Brand X, Phil Collins Jazz Band. And they had some albums on Charisma. This is Unorthodox Behavior, which is Brand X's 1st album. If you don't know who Brand X are, it was Phil's little band that he did. He had Percy Jones and some other people in it. And if you like fusion jazz, and Phil Collins gets to stretch out and play his drums, really good stuff. Here's The Streets Are Soho. And here's the famous Charisma label. This is a extended play from the album Product. And this is a 45 EP. And then, of course, we have Mask. And this is a pressing from overseas. It's got a different cover on it. It's got the famous Charisma. This is Brand X's 3rd album. And this album Phil Collins didn't play on. That's actually the show that I saw in Baltimore. This is a later Brand X album, Do They Hurt, on the Charisma label. Pretty cool with the alligator there. Kind of reminds me of being in Florida. And they also had the band Audience. I believe this is their 3rd album. And they were on the famous Charisma label. This album I had in the back, so I didn't have plastic on it. I'll show you. That way you can get a good view of it. Steve Hackett, Highly Strung, famous Charisma, and Steve Hackett Defector. Got a lot of them to show. Cell 151, extended play, and Clocks. Okay, that's the first part. I got some more to show. Show and tell? No, that's tomorrow night. Julian Lennon, he was on the famous Charisma label. This is Velat. These are from his first solo album. He was on the famous Charisma label. This one here is pretty cool. This one has various artists. And looks like it was the guy was either writing down how many times he played this, or it could have been a library copy maybe. It's got the famous Charisma label, and it's got the large head, so it's an OG. Then we have Genesis Trick of the Tail. This is on the famous Charisma label. This is yellow vinyl. We got Abacab. We got Duke with the white vinyl. We got Genesis Live with the large head. The old one, Nursery Crime. Again, the smaller head. See, this is not an OG. This is a reissue. Foxtrot. That one's got the large one. So that's an OG. Genesis Live. Some of these you've probably never seen before. This album here is from Italy. So this is a Genesis Live from Italy, and this is what their cover looked like. Pretty cool, huh? Here is a promo copy of Genesis selling England by the pound. And here's Keep It Dark from Abacab. Here is Nursery Crime and Foxtrot. It's a combo. And here's the story of Genesis, which is pretty cool. It's a Japanese without the obi. Without the obi. So that's all I got. I ran through this in 11 minutes. That's pretty good. So be good out there. We'll see you tomorrow night with my special show. And we're going to go ahead and do the deep dive into streaming, cassettes, what else? Vinyl, CDs. What is it all? Where is it all going to end? What do you listen to out there? Do you stream like 87% of the people that listen to music? Or do you have nothing but vinyl and you just strictly just do vinyl? You don't listen to CDs. You don't stream in your car. You don't stream anywhere. You don't, while you're out exercising and walking, you don't stream. Or are you just dead set on listening to vinyl? Or do you still have 8-tracks or cassettes? Are you still listening to those? We'll find out tomorrow night. Write in your comment section below how you get your absorption of music. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I want to go ahead and do this because I got something to show you I got coming in the mail. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow night. Support them troops out there if you can. And I will see you tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all my new subscribers. And hit the bell and the like if you like the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. And I'm not going nowhere, so I'll be around for a long time. I'm heading up to 500 shows and 2,000 subs. Yeah, it's a slow crawl, but the turtle's making it. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.